Welcome back. I have a really fun workout to watch today. It's going to be very different than probably anything you've ever seen. One of my friends, William Lee, had one last session with me before I left the Perfect Workout as a trainer, and so he gave me permission to put it on my channel. I was trying out some new software for my phone when I was recording this, so unfortunately, I was just learning to use it that day, and so the triceps, I almost completely missed recording that entire part of the workout. But otherwise, other than that, this is a full high intensity training workout. And I gotta tell you, if you're having a hard time with intensity, with getting to momentary muscular failure, this is probably going to be the workout that you want to watch, because there is a very helpful physiological response that you can put into your workouts, that it's almost like an expressiveness of nature. In another video, and I'll leave a link to that below, I was talking about hormonal signaling and just this intensity of nature, a slight grit of the teeth, looking straight ahead. This workout is a fantastic example of the most robust physical intensity that you could put into this with an expressive nature that really will help you amp up the intensity of your workouts. William works out pretty similarly to Jay Vincent, in my opinion. The intensity of expression on their faces is very similar. And while a lot of my workouts are very stoic, I say my expression is probably very similar to that of Drew Bays while he's working out. There is no right or wrong way to express yourself as long as you're not throwing your arms up in defeat. And so this workout is an incredible example of high intensity, eye on the prize, eyes fixed in front of you, seeking down that momentary muscular failure with full intensity. And so you'll notice a couple different things on this workout. William did a timed static contraction for the abduction and adduction, and actually did it on the leg press machine itself using yoga blocks. You'll also notice that there is an apparatus that he used that measures the variable force output of the chest muscles with an inward timed static contraction. Very fascinating device. And so this is going to be a completely different workout than you're used to looking at, and I hope you enjoy it. It was a really good one. It was a pleasure to instruct this workout, and every time it's always great guiding William through a workout, because he's one of the most advanced clients that I've ever seen working in this method, having done it, I think, something like 30 years. So you're in for a treat, and I hope you enjoy the workout, and I'll see you on the next video. Fantastic. Good. From the beginning, core engaged as you settle into it. Stomach first, top of the back. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is absolutely perfect speed. Core staying engaged as the hands move forward. Perfect. Eyes looking directly where they are is absolutely perfect. When you're turning around, the focus goes into those muscles, top of the back. Keep them with the stomach engaged. You're in perfect form, of course. Breathing well. Feel the muscles there in the back. And this is absolutely perfect form with your feet behind you. The focus in those top of the back muscles, using your breathing, looking directly at momentary muscular failure as a predator, focusing into those muscles. Top part of the back, shoulders stay low, squeeze into it and feel it. Perfect. That was an ideal 3 seconds. Same thing. We're still going to assume we can move. Focusing and engaging the core even as you're breathing. Using that perfect ideal breathing. Stable as can be. Squeeze again. 3 seconds into it. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. You're doing great. We're always going to assume we can get another rep. Focused as deeply as you can in the back. Still breathe, still pull, still keep that contraction. Fantastic. All the way. Deepest point of muscle failure you can reach. 1 more rep. Perfect. 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. At the very beginning, put 50% of your maximum output directly squeezing inward, focused in the chest, breathing well, keeping that full mind muscle connection on those chest muscles, controlled perfectly. Still use that mental intent to feel the chest. Ideal form, continuing at about that same intensity. Good. This is perfect. We're coming up on that 30-second mark. Good. Right here, 75%. Dialing it up to push even further. Accepting the fact it's going to shake like crazy. Everything is focused in the chest. Continuing the furthest inward that you can. Good. We're about to come up on that mark right here. 10 more seconds. We're going to elevate that intensity. Perfect. As you're breathing, the deepest inward here, starting right now, all the way through it. Full intensity, squeezing all the way inward. Every bit of the chest. Keep them with that same force output. Perfect. Good. You're well above your mark. Continue pushing. Continue pushing. Keep that pressure all the way until the end. That is fantastic. Maximum output right here. Final squeeze. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Gently begin. Very stable. Perfect. Good. Shoulders still staying down, even as you're moving through that range. This is perfect. The stomach muscles can stay fully engaged. Your shoulders low. Still every bit of that mind muscle connection right into the chest. Good. Barely touch. Inward squeezing motion to feel the chest the most. Good. On the way back, it's so much easier to engage the core and to focus on the stomach as the hands are coming back towards you. Keep it controlled. Little bit slower, but still push. Perfect. Keeping the chest in mind. Perfectly stable resisting. This is so ideal. Keeping those shoulders low. Still assume that you can move. Barely touch. Good. Using your breathing to push deep. Fantastic. What's incredible is that you still have range of motion right here. This full mental connection, staying through the chest. Barely touch. Barely start. Good. Pause inward. Squeeze toward the center. Go for 1 more gentle rep. Hands coming back. Barely touch. Final squeeze for 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Good. Set up for success. Stomach engaged. Perfect pace. Everything goes right into the biceps. Here's something that I really like to coach people on. There are points of pressure on this machine, right into where the elbows and triceps meet, to where you're sitting, to where the chest is against that pad, and into the feet. We can mentally create different points of pressure for each one of those pressure points. Whatever ends up focusing and engaging the biceps the absolute most, that's our intent right here. Good. The stomach stays engaged, and focusing on whatever position allows the biceps to feel the most muscular contraction possible. Good. When you're reaching upward, squeeze here. 3, 2, and 1. That is absolutely ideal. Everything about this, you're moving just right. Slow as you can on the way back. Barely touch. Good. Assuming we can squeeze here, turn right around. We're still going to pull. You're going to be able to move these weights. Barely touch. Engage the core. Pull upward. Keep that pressure. Perfect. Now, 1 more. Just assume. Squeeze into it. 3, 2, and 1. That is good. Perfectly set up. Stomach engaged. Pressing outward. Starting at that very beginning. About 50 to 60% of your maximum output. Squeezing into the hips. Good. Breathing. Keeping that pressure. Perfect. We want to gradually increase this while the stomach stays engaged. We focus in the hips and outer thighs. exactly where we're sitting, we want to contract those muscles purposefully. Good. Right here at this point, picking up that intensity just a little bit. Start deeply into about 75%, squeezing all the way outward. Good. We just increase intensity purposefully as we're doing this. Stomach staying engaged, still keeping all of that pressure through the hips. Good. You're almost there. Right at this mark. We're going all the way up. Hardest, furthest that you can begin pushing all the way into those hips. All the way, the deepest outward. This is 100% at this point, 110% if possible. Keeping the stomach engaged, using your breathing to reach that maximum capacity. Focus where you're sitting. Every bit of those muscles you're sitting on. Good. Even higher. Crank it up. All the way out. Good. When you're trembling, it's almost like we're just beginning. We still want to keep that pressure all the way through, William. Furthest you can reach through those hips. Good. You'll know exactly when you've reached your maximum capacity. Just keep pushing until that very ending point. Always making the mental assumption that you can keep those pressure through the hips. Good. Perfect. Stomach engaged. Reaching even deeper. Furthest into muscle failure. That's perfect. To the points where it's impossible to push any further. All the way out. Fantastic. That is absolutely the point that we want to reach when it feels like you can't hold it any longer. Good. Good. Beginning exactly that same way. Starting maybe around 55%, 60%, gently inward. Good. The stomach staying engaged, of course. Focusing on the inner legs deeply. The mind always on the muscles is the most important part. Whatever mental focus point creates the most engagement, starting into around 75% of maximum capacity. Pushing purposefully and deeper. Good. Your breathing's perfect, core engaged. Good. Slowly begin amping that up. It's like a gauge squeezing all the way upward until you reach that 100%. Far deep focus just directly through the inner legs. Keeping the stomach engaged. Now it's cranked up all the way. Maximum intensity. Furthest you can push. All the way through the inner leg muscles. The intent staying right there. Good. When you think it stopped you, it hasn't. You can still create more pressure. You can still get even deeper. When we think we've reached the maximum point, the further and the harder that we are able to push, the better. Your breathing is fantastic. Continuing to keep that pressure all the way inward. Stomach engaged until you can't even breathe any further. Fantastic. Perfect. Good. Engage the stomach from the start. Fantastic. This is exactly just that right form. The stomach staying engaged. If you create as much of that pressure through the heels, you're going to be able to engage the glutes even deeper. That's what we want to focus into. Both of those things at the same time. Good. Your speed's perfect. Staying through the heels. At some point, the body's going to try to lie to you, but don't let it, because you still can push. Every single rep, we're going to have that intention. Good. Through the heels, glutes purposefully engaged. Good, exactly this slow motion. Still gently push, drive all the way through it. Good, fantastic. Same assumption. Stomach staying engaged. You're still going to be able to push this, William, right through it. Good, same thing. You got this. Drive, drive, drive. Furthest you can reach for. Yeah, that is perfect. Outstanding.